Hi and welcome to another session of advanced readings. This is a technique that we use in spiritualism a lot, and it also inspired me when I had the oracle readings through the Nadi oracles, where messages were given to me thousands of years in advance, mind-boggling stuff. And also, of course, it's used in when you're using clairvoyance by email reading and sometimes by telephone. You know things before the person calls you. So I'm inspired by this technique and I hope it helps you. There could be a message here for you today. So you'll see me working in blue light for this, because this is how the medium can get close to spirit. We often use a red or blue light in my circle, particularly if you're doing physical or trance work. Anyway, hope you enjoy these sessions.
Okay, my communicator is telling me there's a Mexican connection with this next communication from spirit, because he's a man who he's giving me Mexico, that's what I can hear, right? He's pressing that upon me. And he died of smoking, because I feel he would have liked Cuban cigars and things like this. And I feel I've got a chest condition here. And I get the feeling he's trying to say something like he retired to Mexico in the end. So I think he may have spent some of his time in America. I think he's Mexican by birth, I feel, but would have gone to America, made his money and returned back to Mexico. Because I feel quite a nice sort of building around me, like it's got a swimming pool, and I've made a good life for myself at the end, right? And I can sense with him also a feeling of being a man that loved the glamour of America. I'm seeing places like Vegas, so he may have had some time working in Vegas, I feel. So a man that's got quite a good sense of fun is communicating with me here. And there's something also, there was an awful lot of problems in his life caused because of corruption. And I think this is corruption within Mexico itself, and I think it's like there's a lot of corruption with things where the Mexican government can't handle the drug cartels and things. I feel as if there'd been something where some of his money had been taken from him because it had been almost blackmailed from him or threatened from him, protection money type of feeling I'm getting here. So there was something quite untoward in the family where some of the money went missing, and he had to hide away money or paintings or something so that he couldn't have it all taken from him. So there was something quite horrible in the background. It was nothing to do with his fault, and wants to say that he wasn't involved in anything bad, and he can say that now because he's passed over, but people didn't believe him. They thought there must have been something he'd done, but he hadn't. He'd lived quite a honest life, I feel. And he had 2 wives, I want to say, and both wives he was still good friends with. I think he must have had 2 wives and divorced 2 wives and must have been on his own at the end, but still was friends with his ex-wives, and they were still good connections there, I feel I want to say. And there was a child that died early as a young age that was he talks about as well. So there was a lot of mixture of a fun-loving man on one hand, but also a lot of sadness and ominous things in the background in his life, which made it hard for him to express his full spirit in his character. When he was a young man, I feel that he was quite religious in many respects. He could have even gone into the clergy type of feel, because he had quite a strong religious thing, and then his whole life went in a different direction completely to what his mother and family had hoped of him and expected of him. But he made a life for himself, and I feel made a good life for himself in the end, and that's the feeling he's trying to put forward. You've got to be who you are in life is his message. And the person that's receiving this message, that knows about him and can connect with all this, is going through very similar things where people, not in the same way, but people still try to cheat you in life, he says. And you've got to try to stop that somehow, because you give them an inch and they take a mile. And you're moving too soon, he says. You're going to do a move, and I feel that move will probably be for the benefit. It's a difficult one to do, but you want to do it, and you've got to follow your heart sometimes, he says.
So maybe that message was for you, and if it was, please do leave a comment in the comments below on YouTube so that other people can recognize that this is real. I mean, if you look back at some of the older videos, you'll see that some of the most strange and obscure messages have been taken to the letter, and there's been some interesting stories that have developed once a person has made the comment. So leave a comment, and even if the message isn't for you, it's still a good idea to leave a comment, because this helps spirit to connect with us and maybe get you a message next time.
Okay, I'm hearing a strange name. I don't know if it's a place or a person's name, but I'm hearing the name Pendle. Okay, and there's a name associated with this William around this, and I feel I'm back in the UK now, initially for the person's birth, certainly, because I'm getting the sense that this person had Welsh connections. So I'm feeling connections with Wales and typical Welsh name of some sort, like Evans or Gwen. Those type of names are being put in my head, but I don't know which one I've got to go for here. So but I hear that Pendle or Pendleford, something like that. There's that name. I don't know if that's a village or a name in the family of some sort. And it's I'm a little bit of a confused link, because I've got two coming through together. This is a husband and wife that want to communicate, and they kind of both in life would have talked over each other, and that's why I feel that they're kind of like bit like that now with me. The lady I feel is coming strongest. I think she is an M name with her. I think she's trying to give me Mary, but I'm not quite sure if I've got that quite right. And she's kind of, yes, she's kind of pushed in here, and she's kind of excited to be able to make a connection, even in this unusual way that we're doing it here with advanced clairvoyance, because she says, I'm finally able to reach you. So the person that's already understood this message has been wanting to get a message from these two for a long time, and she's talking about there was a mystery or something in the family, something unknown, big question marks concerning somebody's birth, I think. And I think she has to say, you are legitimate. And I don't know whether there's been some DNA tests done at the moment over something pending. Pendle, I said too, but I've got something that's hanging there in the background over an inheritance. So there's a genetic test to be done, I feel. Get the genetic test done, okay, if that makes any sense to you. Because although I'm seeing two people, and the man's there too, I can't hear his name. He's got a very strong Welsh accent. He might be a Dai, but I'm not sure if that's really his name, or just my own understanding of a sort of typical Welsh. Yeah, he would speak real Welsh too, this gentleman. The two of them were very much living an old traditional life, you know, in a small house, terraced. I think it's terraced, he's saying, small, and the pub's about as far as you need to go to have proper entertainment in the world, you know. But this is reaching out to someone that's gone and done things around the world and completely different lifestyle. You may be living abroad, you may be living in America or Australia or somewhere like that, because I'm getting the sense that this is reaching out to someone far away from the original town of the people that I've talked about their birth. But they're saying about, you've got to in life sometimes fight for things, haven't you? You've got to, you know, it's all very well being spiritual and going along with things and going with the flow, but if you do that, you know, the bad people always win out. So sometimes you've got to battle and fight as well. And he's saying, you battle, you be stubborn, because you've got a very stubborn side to your personality, just like he had. It's in the blood, he says. And sometimes if you dig your heels in, you get what's rightfully yours. And I feel somebody has tried to take something. It feels like it's an inheritance type feeling here. He says, keep fighting, you will win the case in the end. Someone's calling the name Julie. I'm hearing it over and over again. Julie, Julie, Julie. And you were born in July. And there's something about, I'm being told something that somebody here on earth, I think, is suffering from a problem with the eyes, and there's a threat of blindness. Something about blindness they're calling to me here, and it might be a diabetic problem that's caused it, but they're talking about someone had a blindness problem. And I'm seeing cutting edge medical help being given here. Okay, so who's giving me this? This is your nan talking to me here, because I've got a lady, she's got a feeling it's grandmother. I feel that she's quite proficient with this type of thing. She would have been a spiritualist in her life, or certainly very interested in the idea of life after death. She, hard-working lady, I want to say, typical sort of that era, was very good with the cooking and could produce things out of nothing. You know, these are things that apply to a lot of people at that time, but she's showing me that. Used to have a narrow house, I've got to say, with a long garden, and all round the back of the house she grew sweet peas, she talks about. And there's a dog, do I understand Buster? I don't know if that's the name of the dog or it's the name of a place, Buster. I just heard there being called out, and you'll remember Buster. And she's talking about cooking and things like that, but I'm asking her for more things to tie it down for you, but that dog name might make sense to you. And she had awful arthritis in her hands at the end. A lot of people get this, but I feel she's doing her pastries, but her hand's gone solid. It's like she's having to do this with it to make it work, because she can't bend the fingers, and the joint here on the wrist is gone too. So she's given those little bits for the evidence with her. I haven't heard her name properly. Can't hear her name properly, but but I just hearing bits and pieces I'm getting from her here. So she's she really just wants to just give those first things, not to worry about the blindness thing that's coming, that somebody's got a problem with at the moment and fighting for, because I'm seeing cutting edge technology being able to help quite a lot here to get this sorted out. And she's saying also that she suffered a lot with illness through her life, and had to, I think she also had the diabetic problem, because I think there's also this diabetes, and having to fight diabetes in the time when insulin was not as easily available and things like that. So she had a very difficult childhood with it, and only just got through before they had enough discoveries to keep her alive. Because it came in not immediately in her life, it came in later in life, but midway, still quite young. But she's saying that's a real issue, and for her in her life, but she's saying it won't be in yours, you're going to sort it, you're going to get it sorted out. So that's her message to you, I feel, that you're going to get through it, you will sort it, don't worry.
So I hope that helped, because it's lovely doing this and giving messages to people out there, and I know some of you get very excited by the messages that you get, so thank you for your feedback. And if you do enjoy watching all this, why not come and get a reading at my website, because I've got a team of readers, you know, that are on there 24/7, and there's lots of special deals there at the moment. For example, in the UK, if you're a new customer, you can use our welcome offer and get 29p a minute for the first 10 minutes, so you can try a reading for very little. Same with the USA, we've got 59 cents per minute for the first 10 minutes on the welcome offer. So thanks for watching my channel. And do come back and follow us. Click that little bell thingy at the bottom of the page there. We do loads of things here, as well as all these readings. We've got my family involved. We've got all sorts of investigations. We've got my mystic talks, so we're inspired. We got lots of readings. You'll see our stuff with the media and all sorts of things. So keep watching, and keep watching now, because coming up will be the playlist of more videos like this one today. So there could be another message there for you today.